Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is NXT. We are ramping up on the way to NXT Takeover. Things are getting better with every day that passes. We are gearing up towards NXT Takeover. What a night that is going to be. But one thing is for certain is that on that night we don't have the NXT Championship matchup decided yet. To be fair, we only have 2 matches decided, I think, and that's pretty much it. But we shouldn't, we shouldn't dilute, we shouldn't look away from it. I mean, last week may have given us some big stories in regards to NXT and that, but the biggest story tonight, as you see it, is right there. Lio Rush and Matt Riddle one-on-one here tonight. This could be the night where we settle this thing once and for all as to who attacked Lio Rush, who tried to put him out so many months ago. We will, I hope, get the answer here tonight to that question and find closure. But in our main event, Dean Ambrose will go one-on-one with Coren. We saw Coren getting up close and personal with Cesaro last week, beating him around the ring, hit him in the middle of the ring with the clock strikes 12, and certainly I imagine that didn't settle well with Cesaro, but Coren just wanted to do whatever he wanted to do because he thinks he's allowed to do that because he's the NXT champion. But the show tonight will kick off the same way that it did last week by hearing from the Sheriff of NXT, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He made some big announcements last week in regards to the NXT Global and NXT Women's Championship. Well, let's see what he's got, and I think he's coming up right now. And here he is. Perfect timing there. Stone Cold heads towards the ring to kick things off here in NXT, to take his blessings from the Hammerstein crowd and be ready to deliver us some news ahead of NXT Takeover, because make no mistake about it, like I said, we're getting close to it. We've got, what, 3 NXTs left, including this one, until Takeover, so some advancements need to be made. Like I said, we've only got 2 matches this close to Takeover, and I guess, maybe it's difficult to come up with some matches, or maybe it's just a case of, they're just biding their time before something big happens. I'm not really too sure what's going on with NXT. I'm not going to question what's going on with NXT either. I'm just excited. Whenever Takeover comes around, you kind of get that, you get that little buzz feeling within you, like, ah, yes, Takeover's on its way. That is something to be excited for. Make no mistake about it, I'm happy for it to be on its way. Stone Cold starting off tonight by, as per usual, addressing the reaction from the Hammerstein crowd, thanking them for being here as they are each and every week. Last week's NXT was a hot fire one. There was a lot to talk about and a lot that was announced, and Stone Cold Steve Austin certainly was a fan of it. Those 2 title matches that have been decided are going to be truly entertaining, but there is more to talk about here tonight. When you say there's more to talk about, you have my attention. Stone Cold Steve Austin is actually going to make his first pressing point about Lio Rush and Matt Riddle here tonight. He says that if we find out who the man is who tried to take out Lio Rush so many months ago, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the NXT General Manager, have the promise to Lio Rush. Whenever that man is revealed, even if it is Matt Riddle, he will get him a Takeover Chicago. And as for the NXT Championship, well, details are being finalized. Stone Cold Steve Austin is pushing for something to happen in NXT Takeover Chicago, but he can't reveal any more than that right now, as to not let everyone down. But tonight's NXT is going to be a great night, be sure about that. We are in for one hell of a show once again, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. Some pretty interesting things revealed there in that case. I mean, I can't... Whoa, hello. Well, your name certainly wasn't anywhere within Stone Cold Steve Austin's vocabulary, but he has every right to come out here after what happened last week. The Swiss Superman Cesaro is on his way towards the ring. Stone Cold Steve Austin even taken a little bit aback by it, but it makes sense. I talked about it just a moment ago. Cesaro was left laying in the ring courtesy of Coren last week on NXT, and I don't think that's been been something that the Swiss Superman was happy with. I don't think Cesaro was happy with that at all. And it seems as if he wants to have something to say about it with the Sheriff of NXT, the man who comes out here on quite a few occasions and sets the record straight. And he wants to make sure that everyone in the NXT board, or the NXT General Manager specifically, gets the news. Cesaro is exactly talking about that. Before you go Please tell me that you saw what happened last week, that you saw what that sick scum Coren did to Cesaro last week. It was treacherous, it was hideous, and something needs to be done about it. And Stone Cold kind of striking back with a point that I think a lot of us have felt over this time in NXT. Yes, something needs to be done about it, but no one can do anything to stop it. Try to stop Coren since the very day he came here, since before he even got the NXT Championship. Stone Cold risked his career for it, and he still couldn't stop Coren. The fact of the matter is, yes, something needs to be done, but no one is stepping up to do anything about it. Ha! Until now, it seems. Cesaro puts the challenge out. If no one's going to do anything to stop it, then let Cesaro be the one to stop it. Give him Coren a takeover for the NXT Championship. You know that if there's anyone in this roster who can stand a chance of putting him to rest, it's Cesaro. And surprise, surprise, it didn't take much convincing for Stone Cold Steve Austin to suddenly change his mind. You want him, you got him. June 16th, NXT TakeOver Chicago, Cesaro will challenge Coren for the NXT Championship. And don't you dare interrupt him again. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so. Oh baby, another surefire way to kick things off. The main event of TakeOver is sealed. Cesaro versus Coren for the NXT Championship. Happy days are indeed around, and it is thanks to the Sheriff for delivering that big news to kick off NXT. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Another huge way to kick things off on NXT for a second week in a row. We now know that the main event of TakeOver is Cesaro versus Coren for the NXT Championship. Yes, please, and then some. Cesaro, it was hard done last week, and he was not going to idly stand by and allow this to happen. He was not going to just be there and just be like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Cesaro is now going to take action against the NXT Champion, and come June 16th, come NXT TakeOver Chicago, if all things go well, he could take his belt to go with it. We can only hope, though, right? Let's see how that one goes. Anyway, before we can get to talking more about that, you know, we'll talk about that later on tonight in the main event, I imagine, but what a matchup that's going to be. But right now we are going to talk about the opening matchup of the night here. Pentagon Jr. in action again, taking on the #1 contender to the NXT Global Championship in No Way Jose. Jose won a triple threat match last week involving Dean Ambrose and Shelton Benjamin in order to become the #1 contender. And a real good opportunity for No Way Jose to make something happen against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. You know, it might not be something that's going to be easily achieved, but make no mistake about it, Jose has shown he can overcome quite a bit in the past, and he'll look to do it again at you know, on June 16th at NXT TakeOver. And when he arrives in Chicago, he's going to hope that the conga line is long, and there are many people wanting to join his party because Jose is going to need it to actually take on Pete Dunne. He's going to weigh, you know, he's heavier than Pete Dunne, he's taller than Pete Dunne, but Dunne is just that cut, you know, that cut-tough wrestler who just doesn't care. He is vicious in what he does, and for all, you know, when Jose gets in the ring, yes, he can be as serious as you like, but still, there is the severity that Pete Dunne brings. But speaking of severity, Pentagon Jr. was not interested in hearing from that party anymore. He was not interested in seeing what the conga line had in store. He wasn't wanting a fiesta around here, and he's gone right after the #1 contender now, brutalizing No Way Jose here before this matchup can even afford to get underway. The referee calls for the bell, and look at this now, just vicious strikes again and again here from Jose to get from Pentagon Jr. to get things underway. He was chomping at the bit to get his hands on No Way Jose. He's chomping at the bit to sort out this undefeated streak, to finally get it past him. And now he gets the chance to, in this very moment, against No Way Jose, a #1 contender no less. What a way that would be to turn around your loss streak that has happened. Oh God, what is Jose in store for now? A shoulder breaker there by Pentagon Jr, who's going to be as vicious as you like. This is almost, in many ways, this is a great tester for Pentagon Jr. Sorry, for Pete Dunne for No Way Jose, because this is exactly what he's going to be like. Just constantly coming at you, trying to just finish it off with a big move. And not wanting to give you a chance back in the match. Hard strike there, and you saw No Way Jose stumble back. Jose has been unable to get out of the opening blocks here, and finally he's found a little bit of room to work in. But Pentagon Jr. is not interested in staying in that for a long time. Slipping his way out of it relatively easily. Elbows in the guts there. Ducks under. Jose, though, with a clothesline that could turn things around. Nasty knee in the back there by No Way Jose now. And here is where the power of this man comes out. Like I said, he's going to weigh more than Pete Dunne, and he's way taller than Pete Dunne as well. And Pentagon Jr. now probably going to be wishing that he had finished things off a while back. Pentagon Jr. could be in for a bit of trouble here. He gets out of the way, though, but not for long. No Way Jose suddenly just firing back, move after move. Saito suplex there, and Pentagon Jr. hits hard on the back of his head and his neck there. This is a good, strong fight back from No Way Jose from all that happened to him at the start of the matchup. You can see, though, that he is feeling the wear and tear of this, of the fight that had happened. Probably wishing that, you know, Pete Dunne had something in store here tonight, so that the damage that could be done to No Way Jose tonight can be balanced out by what happens later on. But Pete Dunne's not in action here tonight. It's that simple. Looking for a suplex of some sort is Jose. And he's going to get it as well. Pentagon Jr. now is slipping downhill, going down a very slippery slope where there seems to be no comeback. Oh, there's a pop-up punch. That pop-up fastball punch from No Way Jose, and it's going to lead into a cutthroat side slam for Pentagon Jr. Into the cover goes Jose, and with 1, 2, 3, the losing streak continues for Pentagon Jr. But No Way Jose is your winner on his way to Takeover. Just what he needed, but oh no! Jose's in for an early treat, courtesy of the NXT Global Champion. Pete Dunne is here. Pete Dunne is here after all, and Dunne's making a beeline for Jose. Step up in Zaguri. And Pete Dunne wants to let the #1 contender know that he's on his radar. And come June 16th, he's going to finish him off with a bitter end. Just like he did here tonight. Pete Dunne flooring his #1 contender and showing no remorse as he did so. Dunne just made this personal. Well, it's fairly safe to say that No Way Jose and Pete Dunne suddenly got quite a few etches more personal. I think that would be an understatement actually in saying that. But anyway, we're going to move on to our next contest now. And Tyler Bate, much the same as how Hiroshi Tanahashi did last month, I think it was, has suddenly got himself involved in the tidbits with Sanity. Last week, Tyler Bate defeated Sawyer Fulton in a very intense back-and-forth matchup between the two, and then went on to nothing. I don't know why I said that. I don't know. But now he's come on to tonight, where he has to face the leader of Sanity, Eric Young, one-on-one. And we already know ahead of time that Young is going to have his fellow half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, his other half, Killian Dane, at ringside. Sawyer Fulton, for whatever reason, not being at ringside. There might be some tensions being built up between those two. I don't know. I might just be, you know, trying to fill in a blank that doesn't exist, but you never know. Anyway, here come the NXT Tag Team Champions anyway. Nothing planned for them for TakeOver Chicago, the NXT Tag Team division undergoing a rebuilding phase of sorts, and it's taken us, you know, it takes time to rebuild. You can't expect the tag team division to be spotless after a week, and no way is it going to be spotless either. It's going to take some time, you know. You got to build up those partnerships, you've got to make things work, and at the end of the day, NXT is the developmental brand, so to those who are looking to make a career for themselves in the future, you got to really wonder, for them, do they want to spend their time, you know, do they want to spend it as a single star, or do they want to go into a tag team? Do they really want to risk going into a tag team and potentially lose, you know, a fair whack of their career to having to wrestle with someone else? It's a tough thing to go into a tag team, that is for certain. Nevertheless, moving away from that point and instead towards the fact that, you know, this matchup here tonight for both Young and Bate is going to be a very interesting one. Eric Young would like nothing more than a victory over Tyler Bate to really take away some of the momentum that this young guy has been having. You know, these victories that Bate has been racking up over the last few months, especially since almost 2 months ago at NXT TakeOver Orlando. He's been really piling on the victories, has Tyler Bate. I think he might actually have been undefeated since then, which is a very great achievement if that is the case, and Eric Young would like to take that away from him. It was, of course, on the same night at TakeOver Orlando where Eric Young and Killian Dane won the NXT Tag Team titles away from American Alpha. Now I wonder, you know, when June 16th does come around, what happens for Sanity? Maybe they'll do nothing, you know, maybe they'll take it upon themselves to just decide, oh, let's just do an open challenge. It's no problem. But we'll see. We will see. Anyway, we're about to get things underway here. Eric Young and Tyler Bate both ready for the action here. These two men squaring off with each other as the NXT card rolls on. Boy, the matchup next, though, is going to be a big one. I hate to talk over this match already, given the fact it's only just begun, but could we be seeing the end of Lio Rush's cycle to get retribution? Does it all come to a close tonight here against Matt Riddle? That is a real big question to ask, and I look forward to seeing if the answer is yes or no. If it is Matt Riddle who did what happened so many months ago, or if it was someone else. Boy, I cannot wait for that. Anyway, we'll focus back on this matchup right now, and Eric Young has got off to a good start, has to be said, over the youngster that is Tyler Bate. Eric Young, the veteran, able to use this to his advantage. Clubbing blow there by Tyler Bate. Irish whip now off the ropes. And into one another, there they go. Bate might have wanted to do something else, but it backfired on him. But Tyler Bate now ready to fire away here. Regalplex. And Eric Young went flying as a result of it. This could be the turning point that allows Tyler Bate in control, but Eric Young seems to say no way that's happening. Bate, though, the nice reversal. Double underhook, suplex. Indeed, fall away as well. Just let Eric Young go after he reached the peak of his height and just let him fall there. Eric Young, you know, you'd certainly expect him to hit something along those lines. That kind of maneuver, just that careless attitude, that desire to hurt his opponent, and that DDT there just nailed Tyler Bate in the top of his head there. Uh-oh. What is Eric Young planning here? Bate out on the apron. I was honestly expecting something a little more dangerous there, but not to be the case. Instead, just a simple suplex back in the ring by Eric Young, who's been holding his own within this matchup. Super kick, and Bate goes down. Into the cover goes EY, hoping it's enough to close things out here against the youngster, but Bate kicks out at one. Well, this one keeps on going in that case. Good counter though by Tyler Bate, and here we go now. Oh, held him up in midair. That is great by Tyler Bate to be able to pull that one off, but it's not too short. Bate looked a little confused there. Got a little bit flustered with EY up on his shoulders. Didn't really know what he was looking for, and all of a sudden now, Eric Young is able to pile the pressure back on the youngster. It's important to remember, Bate's only, what, 20? 21? At best. Oh, but look at the strength of him there regardless. Gorilla press, uppercut. EY's going to be feeling the pain of that one in the morning. A hard-hitting move, and Tyler Bate keeps going here. Turns himself around and gets the elbow drop as well. Eric Young with little response there in that moment. Great fight back from Tyler Bate thus far. Been a very entertaining back-and-forth match here. Who would have thought that these two men, these two very opposite characters, would have had such a back-and-forth matchup so far. Another strong counter there by Bate. And he slams down the leader of Sanity, slams down one half of the tag team champions, and all of a sudden Eric Young could find himself in a bit more trouble. Maybe not, as EY there had to quickly find his way out of that move. And out of the turnbuckle as well, but Bate is more than happy to send him right back into one. Oh, step up Enziguri, clattered him, and Eric Young has to take some time out of the ring to recover a second. And then walk over to his Sanity member there in Killian Dane. It's like he's using him as a brick wall to shield him between Bate and Young. And he has certainly used it to his advantage there, kicking both men down. I don't think if he intended with the referee or not, but he kind of just got in the way. Eric Young now taking full advantage of the situation. And a steel chair into the head of Tyler Bate. Referee's getting up to his feet. And Eric Young doesn't care. He continues to strike away with a steel chair now. Referee's called for the bell, but the damage has been done. And you know when Sanity plans something, it's not just going to end there. Sanity are taking control of the ring. They're going after a down Tyler Bate right now. But it's Tanahashi! Tanahashi's returned to NXT, and he's made a beeline for Sanity, getting them out of the ring, saving Tyler Bate from a further beatdown. The ace has returned, and he's come to the aid of Tyler Bate. Sanity are getting the hell out of here. The madness continues on here on NXT. I'm not too sure what to say about that one, but Tanahashi back on NXT for the first time in a little while, having gone away to, I guess, you know, rehabilitate after the matches with Coren, but he's back. Tanahashi coming to the aid there of Tyler Bate, which was very, very interesting to see that be the case, and I'm happy that Tanahashi came to the rescue, made the save, and yeah, just... I'm not too sure what happened with Eric Young, though. He snapped in that moment. He snapped after Tyler Bate. It was more than just seeing an opportunity. He just kept on going after him with that chair then. And almost, you know, almost could have concussed the guy. That was severe there, but that is what Sanity is all about anyway. We've got to move on. It is one of the biggest matches. I would say it is the biggest match of the night here. Matt Riddle and Lio Rush in what could be the matchup that reveals who attacked Lio Rush. If you didn't see last week, Edge held I guess an impromptu version of the Cutting Edge where he invited Riddle out and said Riddle was the one who did it. Riddle was the one who tried to take out this man so many months ago. It was Matt Riddle who tried to end Lio Rush's career. Riddle didn't buy it. He said it was bull. Said to Edge that why would he dare try and do that to a man who he considers closer than a friend to him. He believed that what Edge was accusing him of was disgusting, but he said if he has to fight to prove his innocence, then he will. Because Lio Rush wanted his hands on him no matter what. And it was at that moment when, you know, when Riddle said that if he has to fight to prove his innocence, then so be it, that I think a lot of people realized, I think a lot of people made the decision. It was Riddle or it wasn't. I'm still in the middle. I honestly, though, I'm teetering towards it's not Riddle. I looked at the tapes again, I went back, and as difficult as it is to watch what happened, I don't think it was Matt Riddle. I'm going to say it now. Now I've come up with my mind. I don't think it's Matt Riddle. But at the same breath, I don't know who it could be. There are a myriad of guys who it could have been who I'm leaning towards. I'm just going to spitball some right now. Mike Bennett, Mike Kanellis maybe. Maybe some other, you know, unexpected ones. You know, obviously, I don't mean to be racist in this regard, but we saw the hands of the guy, so it's definitely a white guy. So that kind of takes away your Titus O'Neil's and anyone like that. For all, I mean, you know, we know it's not going to be the NXT champion. That's kind of asserted. Could have been someone maybe a bit more unexpected. Maybe Heath Slater. Some others came to my mind. You know, who kind of fit that bill as well, that height, because it was a tall guy who did it. So maybe, you know, Bret Hart's quite tall. It could have been him. Could have even been someone who's not even on NXT anymore. Could have been a member of the DCC. Could have been... who else went up? Could have been a member of Heavy Machinery. Could have been Kurt Angle for all we know, though I highly doubt it was at least 3 of them, that being Heavy Machinery and Angle. It could have been the case. That's certainly something to think about. But, you know, we'll see here. Maybe we'll have an answer by the end of the night. But right now, Rush is going right after Riddle. And Riddle, like you said, if he has to fight to prove he's innocent, then he gladly will in that case. Leaping cutter by Lio Rush. Rush may be blinded by the idea that this was the man who tried to finish his career so many months ago. He may be blinded by that hatred. And that is why he's going after Matt Riddle with such ferocity right now. With such vulgar in every move that he hits. Because he hates... that it could be Matt Riddle. If it is, you know, if it could be Matt Riddle in Lio Rush's eyes, and in this moment, he hates Matt Riddle. A man who was first on the scene after that, you know, after the Masked Man was finished his job, but Lio Rush didn't know that because he wasn't conscious after it. Matt Riddle, though, is fighting for his innocence right now. He's fighting to keep his friendship with Lio Rush afloat here. Covers Rush. I think Riddle might want to try and put this away as quickly as possible. Just be like, you know, get this out of the way and state his case how it wasn't him. But Rush may believe it is him, and if that's the case, he's going to want to hurt him. And there's nothing Matt Riddle can do to close that, you know, to push himself away from that. Out on the apron goes Lio Rush now and comes flying back in. What height from the man of the hour there. Certainly is the man of the hour with all the attention that's been surrounding him as of late in regards to the attempted ending of his career. There's an F5 by Lio Rush. Will he look to close things out with Rush Hour? Indeed he will, to finish things off here with Matt Riddle. Not going to happen. Riddle knows the counters. And Riddle will go after the leg as well. Smart idea there by the former, well, you know, could be a current mixed martial arts for all we know, but certainly would say a former professional mixed martial artist fighter. And now he's going after Lio Rush here, but Rush is returning the favor. These two men are squaring off back and forth with one another right now. What a contest this is developing itself into. What are we going to see here now? The leg lock then. It was actually a leg lock back suplex there by Matt Riddle as he turns... Oh, Lio Rush over, and he's going to lock in the Bro Mission now. The Bro Mission in on Lio Rush to try and close this all out. To try and stake his claim that he didn't do it. Riddle looks to beat Rush here. To fight for his innocence, but Lio Rush is spurred on by the thought that it could be the man he's wrestling in the ring right now. This one, as a result, continues on. Riddle getting right back up to his feet, though. But Rush does his best to stop him. Sends him into the turnbuckle. Counter there, though, and oh, what a counter by Lio Rush, and a big time kick into the chest. And again, though, up to his feet gets Matt Riddle now. These two men are just going all out with one another. No boots on as those kicks just come flying in the face. And again there by Matt Riddle. Ducks under there and now goes after the leg as well. This is where Riddle can excel the power he puts into those kicks. You get that sense that Riddle doesn't want to do this, but he has no choice. And Lio Rush is just fighting here. He is fighting this man because he knows what he's got to do. I'm not too sure what the hell Lio Rush is doing, and Matt Riddle makes him realize that was a stupid mistake to make. Electric chair, power bomb by Riddle into the cover to close this all out. Lio Rush kicks out again. Gets himself up to his feet. Riddle stands back and lets him get up to his feet as well. We are witnessing in this matchup right now a surefire friendship being torn apart, but maybe for a good cause. We won't know until the end of this match, I feel. In the corner now, once again, Lio Rush goes, and look at those kicks. They're going into the face of Rush. But Rush with a big time counter there, pushes back, and a leaping cutter will drive Matt Riddle down into the mat. And the man of the hour is ready here. Oh, he gets out of the way, though. Spinning heel kick. Countered. Oh, the spin heel kick of Matt Riddle's own there. God, these two men are just striking one another now. They are striking with authority as well. Missed shot there, and look at again. Lio Rush in position. And hits the F5 once more. I imagine he does have a name for it that I've currently blanked on, but we'll gloss over my inability to remember stuff. Spinning leg drop there by Lio Rush now, and I think he wants to go to that top rope. I think he is planning on going for that frog splash. Can he get it? Yes, he can! Frog splash by Lio Rush, and a cover after it with 1, 2, and a kick out by Matt Riddle. And Rush is exhausted. So too, I think, is Riddle. These guys have put everything on the line to try and put this to bed. This is getting intense now between these two guys. You feel like something big is about to happen soon, maybe. Big time Irish whip, and Rush goes into that turnbuckle there. Riddle keeps on fighting, but so too does Rush. These two guys truly slugging it out with one another just to try and settle things once and for all. No! He's here! The man is here! It wasn't Matt Riddle after all! Matt Riddle's just been taken out by the man once again, and so too is Rush. They're both down. Whoever this masked man is, he's getting Riddle out of the ring, and he's going after Lio Rush. Matt Riddle is down on the outside. Lio Rush is defenseless in the middle. Elevated DDT. Who in the hell is this guy? No! He's taken off the mask! It's Edge! It's Edge! We've been played for a fool this whole time! Edge was the man behind the mask since day one. I cannot believe it. You son of a bitch, Edge. I can't even find the words anymore, and Edge is just bragging up what he did. Edge is so proud of himself. The ultimate opportunist strikes again. You piece of shit. You are just the most horrific horror. You are worse than dirt. You boil my blood just looking at you, Edge. You celebrate this all. You say Lio Rush is a hothead, and you just put NXT on notice. No, you didn't put NXT on notice. You turned NXT against you, you prick. Lio Rush is going to get his revenge. You seem to say the opposite, but we all know it's the case. Edge, you are just something else. This is lower than I'd ever see anyone like Bobby Fish or Jinder Mahal ever go to. This is disgusting. This is vile. I don't have the words. I really don't. I can't believe it. Wow. It happened. It finally happened. Well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? This whole time, we all got played. Edge was the one who did it. Edge was the one who took out Lio Rush, and it all, and that moment when it hits you, it all makes sense. It really does. It all makes sense now. Of course, it was Rush who was attacked by Edge. Of course it was Edge. It's just sad to think that is the case. It honestly isn't. Well, it begs the question. What are you going to do about it? And the answer is, certainly with me, I can't do anything about it, but I know one man who's going to want to do something about it, and he was the man who was just left laying in the middle of the ring, and that's Lio Rush. Rush is coming out for revenge now. He knows who did it, and it's time to settle it. Clarity has been reached in that regard. Lio Rush finally knows who did that. Now, though, the revenge needs to be closed in on, and it's only Lio Rush's job for that to be achieved. It is only Lio Rush who can find closure in all of this, and the only way to do that is to beat Edge, and not just beat him, decimate him, finish him off for good. That is what Lio Rush needs to do, to finally put this all past him. I really hope he can, and I really hope Edge looks like the dumbest son of a bitch for trying to get on the wrong side of Lio Rush. We can hope, but in the wake of that disgusting revelation, we have to move on. As much as I would love to stay and talk about it, we have to move on. Maybe we'll find time to talk about it next week, but we are focusing instead here tonight now on the women's tag team matchup that we have here. Trifecta against Charlotte and Kairi Sane. The 4 women in this matchup will meet in a fatal 4-way match at NXT Takeover Chicago for the NXT Women's Championship. Sane and Charlotte are allied with each other on the side against Trifecta, which is Jazzy Gabbert, Tessa Blanchard, and Santana Garrett. It will be Gabbert and Blanchard in the fatal 4-way along with Charlotte and Sane. And we see who will walk out of Takeover Chicago with that NXT Women's Championship. Kairi Sane has been champion now for a little over 6 months since winning that title from Nikki Cross. Won it on the same night that Coren won the NXT Championship. So they certainly have had long reigns. Them two are tied as it stands for the longest reign in the in NXT, and I also believe the second longest reign within this universe. First, of course, being Seth Rollins. Good stuff. Anyway, I 100% believe that is the case. That what I just said is true. But nevertheless, we have this tag team matchup here. The alpha female stands on the outside, and it is the queen in the ring. This is a rematch from last week. It was Tessa Blanchard and Charlotte who went one-on-one with each other, and Blanchard was the one who lost, tapping out to the figure 8, the leader of Trifecta. Not going to be too happy about that. And we can see a case very similar to what we saw a few weeks ago on ECW with the British Empire against... I say a few weeks ago, I mean last week, with the British Empire against the champions of Tetsuya Naito and Austin Aries. Trifecta have the advantage in this matchup, despite the fact that you could say Charlotte and Kairi Sane are better, and obviously Sane is the best women's wrestler in the division because that women's championship proves it. Trifecta work as a team. They are a team. They are friends. They travel the road with one another. They spend a lot of time training with one another. They're always by each other's side in matches as well, whereas it's safe to say Charlotte and Sane are, they are allied with each other on one common goal, but when Takeover Chicago comes around, they want it to be them and no one else who is NXT Women's Champion, whereas I think Blanchard and Gabbert don't care who walks out with the belt, so long as Trifecta holds it. Tried for a tag team maneuver in the corner, but cheap shot there by Gabbert, but to be fair, a lot of tag teams do that, so not really much you can do to argue against it. Oh my god! Jazzy Gabbert flies onto Charlotte. The alpha female comes raining down there, and Charlotte had no choice but to make the tag in. Kairi Sane, the legal woman in this one now, and I think that is just what Jazzy Gabbert wanted, was her hands on the NXT Women's Champion. Oh god, Sane is suddenly wound up in a big heap of trouble. Deadlift gut-wrench powerbomb there, and she just stayed on her feet as Sane went down. Oh my... running knee in the face there of the champion. Sane now has to work against a 2-on-1 advantage, and all of a sudden she is looking to be in quite a fair whack of trouble, and the move is flipped around this time and actually makes quite a bit more sense when it's done in this regard. Blanchard, the legal woman, now against Kairi Sane. It's time for the leader of Trifecta to get revenge, maybe against the woman who she lost to at NXT TakeOver Orlando. Blanchard certainly seems happy with the job she's putting on right now. Sane is struggling here. Once again, just goes to show that being allied works better than just being, that actually being a team in this tag team matchup works better than just being allied against a common cause. Face first down, though, and the NXT Women's Champion starts to fight back here. This is exactly what she needed to get going. The NXT Women's Champion is a fighter. She has proved this on so many occasions. And she keeps on going here. Alabama slam, and it could set her up in perfect position to look to finish this one off here already. Jazzy Gabert trying to get there, but oh, did more to hinder her partner than save her. Insane elbow, but right away, Gabert's in to make the save. And a big boot, Charlotte. And to go after Sane as well, flinging her across the ring. What a difference maker Jazzy Gabert can be. But Tessa Blanchard is still down. I don't know if you copped it, and I didn't get the chance to explain it, but Sane went for the... Oh, there's a strike to bring Gabert down to the outside and make this a one-on-one. Sane was prepping for that insane elbow. Oh, roll up by Blanchard, but I think Sane will be in the ropes. Yes, she will. Finally, let me explain the point. She went to throw her off the top rope, but as she did it, Sane basically leapt. So Jazzy Gabert essentially helped Kairi Sane get further elevation on the insane elbow. Certainly did not do a good job there, and Blanchard is in trouble all of a sudden as Sane now is the one leading the way in this matchup, and she's going to make the tag out here, I think. Yep, Charlotte going to come back in this one with good logic for that being the case as well. Sane took quite a bit of offense, and Blanchard is weakened right now. It could be the case that Charlotte could use it to close in on a victory, but Blanchard all of a sudden able to counter back there, hammerlock DDT, and Charlotte smashes her head into the mat there. Thrown into the turnbuckle now. And again, though, can't make the tag. Oh, but Gabert is going to tag herself in here. The alpha female going to do whatever it takes for Trifecta to be victorious. But Charlotte is going to make sure that only her duo can be the winner here. This all, of course, has an effect on what happens at NXT TakeOver Chicago. This all will have an impact on that evening. Momentum is key to that matchup. And of course, Kairi Sane's got to be aware that, like in this matchup here tonight, she does not have to be defeated to lose. The only difference being, though, in this match here tonight, she'll simply lose. On June 16th at Chicago, she will lose her NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte's doing a great job right now, it's got to be said. She is keeping the alpha female down, and she's going up high here, looking to strike with that moonsault. Gabert evaded. And all of a sudden, things could be fit to change. Another deadlift, gut-wrench powerbomb, this time to Charlotte. Blanchard forcing herself up to her feet on the outside. Cover after that elbow drop by Gabert. A little bit of ego in the mix. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no, no. Gabert has her pressed in. The Omega Slam from Jazzy Gabert. That came from out of the blue. Cover here. Sane goes down. There's the count on Charlotte. Oh, but Charlotte kicked out at 2. Trifecta haven't closed things out just yet. Tag made, though. Tessa Blanchard is in. Kairi Sane is down on the outside. The NXT Women's Champion isn't moving. Neither, though, is Charlotte. Tessa Blanchard stands on the top rope looking to strike. Magnum from Blanchard. And the cover on Charlotte. 2, 3. Too little, too late for Kairi Sane. And Tessa Blanchard beats the Trifecta, rather. Beat the duo of Charlotte and Kairi Sane. The NXT Women's Champion is beaten by Trifecta, and that is exactly what they wanted to happen heading into Chicago. You think back to the past, you know, the father-in-law, whatever you... Yeah, father-in-law of Tessa Blanchard, of course, being Tully Blanchard. I believe that is the truth to that one. And Ric Flair in the past. Well, now Tessa Blanchard defeats Charlotte Flair in the modern day. But on June 16th, will Tessa Blanchard beat Charlotte again, but this time for the NXT Women's Championship? Will that man in the that woman in the middle, Jazzy Gabert, defeat Charlotte, Sane, or even Blanchard to become the NXT Women's Champion? Will Charlotte beat one of the 3 women to win the title, or will Sane do a very improbable task as it's looking right now? Pin one of them and retain her NXT Women's Championship. It's been done before in a Fatal 4-Way match. Just can it be done again is the big question to ask. We'll find out on June 16th, and right now things are looking Trifecta's way for a title change to happen. Nevertheless, we are going to move on. It's our main event of the evening. Up next, the NXT champion is in action. He knows now on June 16th he's facing Cesaro. However, tonight, he's going one-on-one against the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. It's been a chaotic night on NXT, and, you know, I would just like to hope for a decent main event, but who knows with everything that has gone on. Well, we know Cesaro's here tonight. He came out at the start of the show and said that he wanted Coren. The sheriff of NXT, Stone Cold Steve Austin, was more than happy to give him that match, and we are on for June 16th. But right now, here tonight, Dean Ambrose is on to go one-on-one against the NXT champion. It's a great opportunity here for Ambrose to really prove himself, and it's a great opportunity for Ambrose to go up against someone who, in many ways, when it comes to in-ring offense, can be just like him. Very unpredictable, very wild with what he does, and he always heads out with the intent to hurt his opponent. However, the ways in which they can go about it are very different. You know, while Coren can be unpredictable, he can also be so sadistic in what he does. He can also be so conniving and, you know, just give him a window of opportunity, and next thing you know, your head's being rammed into the ring pole over and over again. You're being powerbombed on the outside, and your head is being drilled into the canvas, courtesy of a clock strikes 12. Like I said in the prior match, Coren has held that championship since since Takeover Toronto back in November. The same night as Kairi Sane, but Coren has made it his business to go around ransacking NXT, essentially taking away a lot of people who were held in high regard on this brand. Stone Cold Steve Austin, gone. Macho Man Randy Savage, gone. Both of those two have retired from this universe, and you've got to feel like the Macho Man is undoubtedly as a result of Coren. Stone Cold, I think Coren has an effect on that one, a significant effect. There is no doubt about it that this man, this sick and twisted individual, has had a strong part to play in the retirement of a few people. But you look at some of the other people he's decimated along his way, both as NXT champion and on his way there. Chris Sabin, the man who brought him into this universe, no less. Hiroshi Tanahashi, as we've seen as of late. Some others just along the lines, Broken Matt Hardy, trying to remember some more right now off the top of my head. They're just blanking. But of course, the two biggest ones as of late, Hiroshi Tanahashi and the WWE champion, rather, should I say, Kazuchika Okada. Coren, of course, likes to profess that he ended Okada, that Okada does not matter anymore because Coren ended him. But let's be honest, Coren's being very blind to the truth if that is the case. Nevertheless, we focus towards June 16th, and of course Ambrose and Cesaro, who both made their way to NXT at the same time following the supplemental draft, could very well be in the same matchup on June 16th. If Dean Ambrose is able to bring out a huge, stunning victory here, it could well be a triple threat at Takeover. Something that I don't imagine the NXT champion would take too kindly to, but actually maybe he would, you know, more bodies to beat up. But regardless, Coren's been on a usual ransacking attack when he gets the opportunity. We saw it with Cesaro last week, and we could well be seeing it with Dean Ambrose here tonight as he methodically beats down the back, it seems, of Dean Ambrose. Ambrose trying to recover on the outside. Coren just staying in the ring. Oh, what a leaping knee there to bring the Lunatic Fringe down. This would be a big win for Coren should he achieve it. Ambrose, a former Mr. Money in the Bank, a former two-time Intercontinental Champion, ECW Television Champion, United States Champion, WWE Champion. Dean Ambrose has done an awful lot within this universe. Be a very big win for Coren to achieve if he is able to here tonight. But Ambrose is going to take all of that offense and keep on swinging here. That is how he works. That is how the Lunatic Fringe can go. And of course, something that is pivotal here is you kind of see NXT doing their little bit to get revenge on Coren for last week. He took Cesaro out of the chance of having a really entertaining match with Pete Dunne. Well, they'll make him wrestle here tonight and give Cesaro the night off. Might also be to you know, potentially hoping that Cesaro doesn't get injured here tonight. Did take a nasty landing into the steel steps, into the ring pole, and of course into the ring itself, courtesy of the clock strikes 12. Coren starting to fight back a little bit. Deadlift German suplex there by this man, and was able to hold on to that bridge. So that's what I hate about this guy. For as much as I talk ill of him, Jesus Christ, he can hurt you. And he's damn good at doing it as well. Again, he brings him in. Uranagi slam, and Ambrose goes down. Seemed to have been a lot of work on the back so far by Coren. Not really too sure what the idea of that one is. Went to fly in the corner there, and Ambrose is able to get out of the way of things. Coren counters, though. Hard forearm shot in the face. Looked like he was thinking big boot. Ambrose counters. Puts him in the turnbuckle. Tornado DDT now from the Lunatic Fringe. Ambrose starting to get a little bit unstable, you feel, as this match continues on here. Oh, what a lariat into the back of the head. Cover there by Coren, but a kick out early on from Ambrose denies the chance for Coren to close out this with a victory just yet. Look out. Oh, he just left him go in midair there. Very dangerous move by Coren, but he goes right into the cover again, and Ambrose continues to kick out. Coren looks as if he just wants to close this out as early as possible. Rake of the eyes there from the NXT champion, and here he goes now. What the hell is he doing? Oh my God, just folding Dean Ambrose up there. The pain that has got to be surging through Ambrose's neck, his arms twisted backwards there. What else has Coren got inside his mind? Wheelbarrow, neck breaker. The strength of the man to pull off something like that. But again, Ambrose is able to pull out a good counter there to that. Oh my God, Ambrose! Dirty deeds! Is Dean Ambrose gonna beat Coren? 1, 2. Oh, Coren kicked out there just barely. You saw him getting that shoulder up at first and then went for a more emphatic kick out. Coren ducked under the attempted lariat, and oh my God, Dean Ambrose just got a nasty amount of knee in the face. Coren now, double underhook brain buster, and you already know what is on its way. He moves behind Dean Ambrose, middle of the ring, clock strikes 12. And suddenly Ambrose's momentum is derailed, and suddenly it feels like this one's over. There's 2, and there's 3. It only takes 1 sometimes, and on June 16th, that could very well be the case. Coren broke down this man methodically once more. He knew what he was doing in order to be victorious, and the clock strikes 12, finishes Dean Ambrose. It was close, but oh no, Coren, no. Coren ain't finished with Dean Ambrose, and why would he be? Attacking the Lunatic Fringe now, stomps to him again and again. This is because he's got a match on June 16th. This is just to do anything to send a message towards Cesaro. Coren is a sick, disgusting individual. He knows it, and he prides himself on it. Come June the 16th, however, much the same as I hoped for with Okada and Tanahashi, Cesaro can shut this man up for good and take away his NXT championship. We can only hope. If not him, then I hope Dean Ambrose gets his hands on it again and rips the smirk right off of Coren's face and beats him across the head with it. It has been a wild night here on NXT. Make no mistake about it. What a night. This is one of those nights that we're going to be talking about for weeks to come, I think. Sanity attacking Tyler Bate. Pete Dunne and his attack on, go back to that Tyler Bate thing. The save from Hiroshi Tanahashi. Pete Dunne attacking No Way Jose following his victory. Coren and Ambrose there. The match signed for June 16th between Coren and Cesaro. But I really think the biggest talking point of tonight, after months of investigations, after months of thinking who it could be, Edge was the man who attacked Lio Rush. And that, I think, is the one that will remain in our mind for the longest amount of time. That ends this episode of Universe, a hectic night of NXT, make no mistake about it. We'll see you on Sunday for Living Dangerously. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.